Hi, welcome back to wine-Mead. I'm Samuel. Today we're going to be exploring a solera system. A solera system is a procedure that they put for aging wine over a long period of time to get a consistency from batch to batch to batch. Instead of having a fluctuation based upon when that grape was done, how bad the season was, this pretty much guarantees the same action. But we're going to put it on mead. And matter of fact, it's going to be a habanero pineapple. If you've never had it before, with my special ingredients, I just want to see how that's going to work out long term. That's enough talk. Let's get down to business. Here's a visual to help you to understand how younger products get transferred into older products continuously until it gets to the final solera system and into bottling so you get a consistent product. So we're going to actually start from the beginning and make some. We're going to start with our tandem additives. We're going to be using 5 black tea bags instead of wine tandems. And a screenshot of all the players that are involved, except for the pineapple, which will be added in the second fermentation to preserve flavor. So we chopped up the habaneros off screen and we're loading up. What I do want to draw your attention in on is the one-handed glove. Don't do that. Wear both gloves. It's for your safety. Habanero sticks to your skin and it lets you know not to handle it carelessly. And now we're moving into, as they said in the Matrix, a very exciting moment. Does anybody see what I'm grabbing for? The North Carolina Reaper. And now for trivial facts. Did you know that the North Carolina Reaper, officially known as the Carolina Reaper, is up to 22 times higher than an orange habanero? While a habanero is undeniably spicy, the Reaper is a certified world record-breaking super hot. While the orange habanero is 100,000 to 300,000 SHU, the Carolina Reaper is 1,500,000 to 2,200,000 on the SHU. Consider that. But to be fair with this dynamic duel of heat, they really do complement each other well, especially in first fermentation, and they age out well also. Considering that this is going to be mixed with some pineapple, it does well. Long-term aging makes it heaven to sit around the fireplace in the fall or the early spring and just sip. As you can see, I've placed a little water in a cup to get ready for my yeast hydration. Followed up with a 1/4 teaspoon of Go-Firm. I have watched other mead makers swear by yeast nutrients and others say it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to treat my yeast like I would my children. I'm going to give them every opportunity to succeed because in the very end, it's going to be pleasing to your soul to see them succeed. And now for the front lineup. Coming in at 10 pounds, 5 answer, light amber honey. I also have to admit, this is the darkest light amber honey I've ever seen. I have used Kirkland honey from Costco in prior batches of the same product, and it finished quite nicely. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when I mix those two honeys. And if you notice the 11.5 gallons sitting right behind this fermenter, starting with the 5 gallons up against the wall, that is habanero pineapple also, and that's 6 months old. And directly behind the fermenter that we're looking at, there is a 5-gallon batch and a 1.5 gallon batch, which is, at this point, should be 3 months old. With the addition of this product being made, about several months down the road, will make up the total of what's going into the 60 liters. With just about 2 gallons to start, a new batch to be part of the system down the road. And now also for a little plagiarizing. When you think you've added enough oxygen to the must, give it 2 more minutes. Don't be ashamed to get every last little drop of honey. You paid for it, you will drink it, and you deserve it. At this point, I'm getting sloppy with the water ingredients. All this air is needed, so don't be afraid. Get happy. Get the oxygen in there because it will do you benefits. Here's a question. Is this a capsumel or a melomel? A melomel is honey fermented flavored with fruit, and the capsumel is created with chili peppers. Did we just make something new? We have a new category, a fusion mead. Let's see how long that takes before it catches on and we're creating all sorts of interesting things. And here we go with the aeration again. Aeration is actually when you inject oxygen below 21% into a product. And as we're getting to the finishing of this must, I add in a little cheat. 1 teaspoon of yeast hulls. Follow up with 5 tea bags and a half a cup of water. With more mixing and more oxygen. And yes, I am literally dripping with star sand over the bag and my hand. And this is why you examine your procedure every time before you make a batch. But nevertheless, no harm, no foul. And even after adding in a weight, it still floated once fermentation started. Now, the yeast of the day is Red Star Premier Blanc. And even if I didn't show it, there was also a tablespoon of Ferment. I confess, I ran out of bourbon this time, and so we had to use Star Sand. And of course, it's sleep shirt. Can't sit into bed without a shirt on. All right, we're in the meat room. So this is how I'm going to break down my design on the solera system. This is my Spiegel 60-liter long-term fermenter. Mouth not working there. And in about 3 months, I will have a total of 18 gallons. With that last fermenter finishing, doing what it has to do, and adding the final pineapples, because it's a two-step. Habaneros first to preserve the pineapple flavor. I'll put that in the second fermentation. 13 gallons of this total is going to go into this. This is going to sit to the side for 6 months. In that time frame, I'm going to be adding to what was left over. Will be started in probably in the plastic fermenter, and as finishing moved over into the glass carboys, because once you use plastic with habaneros, you can't use it for anything else. So that is the designated habanero. At that time, like I said earlier, 13 gallons will go in. We'll start a new batch, add that to what's left. That'll sit to the side for 3 months. 3 months after that, another batch will be started, which is going to be a total again of 6 months. I'm going to take 3-4 gallons. That's what I'm thinking now. And then the oldest batch, which will probably be sitting in the cardboard by then, will be added into this 3-4 gallons. And the second oldest batch, we added into the oldest batch, 3-4 gallons. And then the new one will start the whole process over again. Hope I didn't make that confusing because my mind was hurting while I was saying that. And so that way you get a consistent flavor profile over and over and over again. And The way I have it timed is that by the time all this aged out, it'll be the holidays. And in my mind, Habanapple Pineapple is the product that you sit around the fire pit with friends, family. And I like giving, so I'm going to give it out during that period of time and I'm going to enjoy it with friends. Now, there's only one bad thing about this whole process. As you already know, the good point, consistent flavor profile every time. The bad part is if you're not consistently in a sanitational mood, making your product, transferring your product carefully, as airless as humanly possible, you can get a bacteria. And if bacteria starts to transmit, you can ruin the whole batch and you have to start from scratch. So I'm going to attempt to find a graphic, put it up so you can get a proper understanding if I confuse you a little bit. And on with the rest of the show. As you see from the title above, it's been a few months. And we're now going to take a total of 18 gallons and transfer most of that into the 60 liters, which is just about 16 gallons, which is going to leave me with 2 gallons to start again as the base for the next batch that's going into that. So I am going to put this on speed as you see, and we're going to get this all filled up. I'm going to shut my mouth and let you just see the process. And just a heads up for future tense, my camera decided it was going to do monochrome in various degrees. So you may have seen that already, but you're going to see more of it. It's nothing you have taken, it's my camera. Now let's talk about this long-term fermenter. I believe it's pronounced Speedel. Is a German product. It's plastic and it has a healthy thickness to it. It's not the flimsy plastic of a few fermenters around where you go to touch it or you grab it too tightly and you squish out all your product. This is a respectful girth wall. It's durable. It's going to be around for a while. Just want to get it out there. I did purchase this myself, so this is my personal opinion about how this product is working. If you have noticed, the lid is constructed well. The gasket on the other side is hardy. It's not going nowhere. And the way it seals it in is by pushing the top down and applying pressure from the enclosure strap, and it gives a wonderful airtight seal. The outlet valve comes in two materials, plastic and stainless steel. The plastic valve swivels from horizontal to vertical. Great from bottling right from the container. The airlock is a two-piece with some special features. With a upgrade purchase, you can have it monitor the temperature of your product and actually counts the burps of the air release to let you know when it's coming to an end, which you can monitor from your PC or from your phone. Now to talk about the fermenter itself. The walls are a thick PE plastic, very stable with a high density. It will be here for a while. The handles do max out at the 60-liter mark, but you can pick this thing up even at that point and move it around. And since I'm throwing around all this praise, I was gifted a very nice gift, a sipping glass from D. Thank you, D. It is great. Again, this was not gifted. I paid for myself, and this was definitely a worthy product. Check them out. And now, unto my parenting mode. It gets its own little sleep shirt for long-term aging. This will be here until, I would say, December the 1st. which I will probably take out about several gallons and bottle and give away as gifts for the holidays. And then top off with a prior batch that I made after that, and trickle downhill from prior batches after that. And don't repeat my stupidness. I thought pressure sealing the cloth to the barrel with the stopper that's holding the oak would be a great idea. No, 2 to 3 days later, I noticed that the cloth was still wet. In my mind, that's a bacteria moment, so I literally just dropped the oak in there and took the cloth off. And since you made it this far, I'm assuming you like the content. Please give a like, subscribe, and until next time, this is Samuel at MS Mead. See you soon.